Alright, good morning, everybody. I know this is a pretty early stream compared to what I usually do. My work schedule is a little weird this week, so I go to work at 3 and then I don't come back home until 9, so then I'd have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to my next job, so I really didn't have too much time to stream tonight, so I decided to get a really small stream out during the morning hours and then get my schedule back on the consistent track that I'd like it to be. But you just listened to the staff roll from the Pokemon Snap soundtrack. Probably one of my favorite N64 soundtracks as far as the Pokemon series is concerned. I have a lot of nostalgia for that game, and to be honest with you, I really wish I had the opportunity to actually go to those printing kiosks that they had back then. I know that those are still in the hands of some private collectors, but at the same time. So today we're going to be playing Star Fox Adventures HD mod. I was intending to play Skies of Arcadia, but I decided since I was kind of at a really pivotal plot point, and this is going to be a short stream, that I was just going to start Star Fox Adventures. Because my intention is to kind of mix it up a bit, so 1 week I'll do Star Fox Adventures, and then 1 week I'll do Skies of Arcadia, so it is what it is. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. I hope everyone's having a good morning so far. Alright. So give me just a moment while I get things set up here, and we'll get started. Okay, here we are. So, when I played this game initially, when I streamed this on another Twitch channel and a YouTube channel, I had some issues initially streaming it. It would crash because of some sort of memory leakage issue, but I've since changed my hardware, so I don't think that's going to be an issue this time around, but if that does become an apparent issue, I will end up switching to Skies of Arcadia, but for now I'm just going to play this and see what happens. I do have another save file if I need to skip through a little bit, but I think so far we're doing pretty good, so. Now we get to hear the incredible fake dinosaur language. So even though I have a lot of nostalgia for this game, I still think that this introduction sequence is probably not the best, because I have tried numerous times to actually die in this section, and as far as I'm aware, Crystal has infinite HP at this part, so I get it, you don't want to get killed in the tutorial section of the game, but then again, this feature is never used again, so what's the point? But surprisingly enough, this is one of the sections that's actually in the original Dinosaur Planet. Like, this is not something that was made for Star Fox Adventures specifically. And I'm having, like, absolutely terrible aim today. It's Fox and the Stars and having adventures. Hey, good to see ya. Admittedly, I'm not really the biggest fan of the introductory sequence with Crystal, though. I mean, I like her as a character, but, like, the original intent was to have them both playable. Fox and Crystal, that is. I'm doing okay this morning. How are you, Holiday? Yeah, this is a lot earlier than I usually stream, so it is kind of new for me. I usually stream at night, and it's just that my work schedule is so unpredictable that I just never really know when I'm gonna have time to stream at a specific time. Yeah, and there are mods where you can play as Crystal. It uses Fox's animation set, but at the same time, you still get to play as her. But, I mean, I would have liked some sort of system, like maybe like, I don't know, like Donkey Kong 64. I also realized that my, there we go. My model was a little off-center there. Okay. But really, like, it's kind of just like a walking simulator at this point, because really all you do is pick up items, throw things. There's very minimal combat for the introduction of Star Fox Adventures. But the HD mod makes it look really crisp. Like, the game already looked really fantastic for its time, but seeing it just with up-res textures and it looks gorgeous. Like, this doesn't feel like a game from 2002 anymore. It feels, I would say honestly, probably like a game from 2005, 2006 maybe.
General Scales, Hiko, Kohud, or Taskuki, Eve Dinosaur Planet. Ut Neokraju, Ui Kimo Nekt.
Am Dek Kutsuho Kavorik Oi. Am Edko Kutsuho Rosvejo Evu Tashkov Suk.
Utashkov Suk? Kiash Niko
Suk.
Ash Atashkov.
Keo Cloud on a Kekt Moyorik Oi. Keo Ola General.
Moak. Aumdekulak. Ahiko Ilokio, Mudu Tadijwi Kiaro. Kiok. Ash Nio Amit Hiko Kutsash Kudok Nakivu. Ikianajo. Kio Vik Oknush Kokeva Wika Walk Mo. Ue tuoki se kodwo mo? Kia judge dekelu! Edu su tavuk! General Scales!
I love the fake dinosaur language.
Rotzes, General! Moro do kemo!
Kia judge dekelu!
Poshvat keo yezo ev keo tashkov shaduk! Anito avgeash ash neo keo tashkuf shaduk ash sematvem!
Kia gets kio Kurzoa Palace! Avowe, we are Jato! Rolo Suvik! Kia kakio! Touch weeds met Joshut Kuso!
See, my mind was actually going to the Toydarian language from the Phantom Menace for some reason. I don't know, like, the thing is that it was just completely unnecessary. They actually were speaking English in Dinosaur Planet initially. I guess they just wanted to kind of make it more fantasy-like, where, yeah, this is a completely alien planet, so they're not going to speak English. And I won't be like... I won't be just, like, pointing out things that I just don't understand about the game, like, the whole time, but... So, we got a key that was on the galleon, but why does the key that we picked up that was in this big room, why is that key literally just to a door that has an explosive barrel in it? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, what is so special about this barrel in particular that they needed an entire room to house a key for it? And I also have atrocious aim, but that's beside the point. Another thing that was kind of awkward is that anytime you pick up an item that's new, they do this really obnoxious animation where they just get so excited to pick up this puck egg or what have you. But even with, like, just AI upscaling for these textures, it looks really good. I mean, just today I was checking out that 11 AI thing where, like, you can use, like, a voice sample and it clones the voice. It's honestly really scary how good AI has gotten in the last few months, if not the last 2 years. Because, like, we went from, like, 15 AI and UberDuck, or, like, your generic, like, Mac text-to-speech, or, like, Siri, to this technology that we have now that can quite literally replicate anyone's voice in near perfect clarity. Date someone that looks at you like Crystal looked at that egg. I mean, I think they're trying to go for sort of like a Zelda kind of thing, where it's like, oh, you know, whenever Link opens up a chest, he's like super excited for this compass that he found in the dungeon. It's like Crystal has to get excited about everything that she picks up as well. Oh yeah, the barrel's right here. Nope. I just need to take a second and just look, because this just looks so good. Like, of course, there's artifacting, so like when you look at some of these textures a little close up, you can kind of see the blurriness and where it kind of gets a little, almost like a painted over glossy effect. And that's just a result of AI upscaling, is that while it makes the original texture like twice the resolution, it's just, sometimes it muddies it out, and that's just the capabilities of the technology we have at the moment.
Keo Krizoa, Dut Uwe Kutsak, Keo Uhu, Tudwo,
Nos ag oe kiel jod keo tashkuf joduk.
Neo no Noho Ukasbot, Ashadukat, Fo Kutsak, No Nohu, Mucha Shot, Oh.
Rek neok noho oe tedwo kutsoho.
Keo King Earthwalker, Shot Ich Game, Hekas Kiash Shushat Fusuzo, Kutsimo Eve Keo Krizoa, Keo Krizoa, Oho Fuso Fahax, Fenovic Roadwu, Keo Grado Kevoke, Okudak, Naki Keo Fahax, A Kudak Ash 2.
Ach kutsoho jimokert atsute.
Moak, et kokio fiho if kutsuk, sud kubo keo gashk. Utko keo, Krizoa shrine, et so achatu, sev kuko keep perhaps coach, ut unoak ue hunut, of ue jesut, kiot hokit kemo. Amdek Widwu Utun Kotso.
Imagine playing this without the subtitles. I would be completely lost, because I think they actually said that this is completely made-up language. Like, there's no, like, real-world reference for it. But I mean, when it comes to games like this, like, really when you look at it from a new angle, like for me as an adult, it's like I can definitely see the imperfections and stuff that this game had, but it's, you know, it just adds to that charm to me, because it's like I can see like where certain things could have been better, what they had to cut, and the fact that the game is still this enjoyable after all of that is really nice. Fuck learning Klingon, let's go learn Dino language. Exactly. Yes, we get the... enough with the Krizoa text. But I think it's like if you look at games that, even games that you really love, and you see no imperfections with it, or just like even the small little nitpicks, like, you know, it's hard to fully appreciate something without looking at it from every angle. And I see Star Fox Adventures as just a game that, like, it's definitely has a lot of issues. It's not a traditional Star Fox game, even though it brands itself as being one. But at the same time, I try to kind of accept it for what it is. Like, it's really fun, but it doesn't really fit well into the world of Star Fox, which is more of a... well, that fucked me over. And now that I kind of really understand that this was not the intended product, it was originally supposed to be a completely different game, like, I kind of forgive it a little more. The test of observation. I mean, clearly you did not know me in middle and high school. Find me 3 times in a row, and I will be yours to return to Krazoa Palace. So this game, for those who are unfamiliar, like, it has, I believe, 6 total tests like this. Maybe 5, I don't remember exactly how many, but they progressively get harder with different tasks that you have to accomplish each time. So this one, it's basically just a puzzle that you have to observe, like, where the cups are moving. It's pretty simple because they don't really move that quickly, but other tests, you have to do combat in a certain amount of time. You have to balance a certain meter. Some of them are extremely difficult, but the first one is, like, if you just kind of pay attention, like, it's really not that hard. But it also doesn't punish you that much, it just sends you to the back, to the starting area. Okay, now let's talk to this Triceratops that will, or Earthwalker rather, that'll never be seen again. Thank you, nameless Earthwalker that we will never see again. And just for that, I'm going to throw this at you. I failed. And just like that, this is the end of the section of Crystal, so you only get like a maximum of like 23, 25 minutes with Crystal. That's if you're not just completely rushing the entire thing. Well, that's the end of the game. So that's a 20... No. I am going to try to not talk through the cinematics, though, so that's why I haven't been, like, too awfully talkative.
Affirmative. I'll get back to work.
Hey, Fox! Isn't this music getting on your nerves? I'm trying to work on my maps.
I bet there's a category for that.
Oh, Okay, old-timer. Turn it down, Slippy. Hey! Slippy, it's General Pepper.
General Pepper here! I have a new mission for you, Fox. You are approaching Dinosaur Planet, an ancient world on the edge of the Lylat system. As you will see, chunks of the planet have been torn from its surface. It's your job to get them back. If Dinosaur Planet explodes, it could affect the entire Lylat system. The only lead we have is that you must locate the Queen of the Earthwalker dinosaur tribe. Maybe she can help you further. Either way, your fee has been approved. If you are successful, then the money will be forwarded to you immediately. Pepper out!
You heard the General. Let's do it.
Oh, hey, Al, good, or Blaze, whichever you prefer. Good to see ya. So, I was just discussing, like, I was about to say that, like, they just so happened to be in the area, and General Pepper's like, hey, go do this. But the explanation for why they're in this general vicinity is that there was a prequel comic that came out, I believe, in Nintendo Power, probably about a year before the game actually released. But sadly, it's just not as well known as people would, or at least as much as I would like. Yeah, just fucking glue a plant together, yeah. Be sure to use Elmer's glue.
General Pepper here. Your mission takes place on Thorntail Hollow.
Yes, we get the point, Pepper.
Fly through one gold ring to reach Dinosaur Planet.
Yeah, when I was younger, I used to just do these R-Wing sections over and over again, try to beat my high score. Like, if they had expanded this, the game, like, would have been, like, 10,000 times better. Like, it's already a really fun game to play, but it would have been really great if they had, like, more in-depth R-Wing missions. But I can understand they were on a limited schedule with the fact it was a completely different game to begin with. Oh yeah, absolutely. Star Fox Adventures is a very underappreciated title. And that's mostly just because, like, since it had the Star Fox name on it, people had this expectation for it. And it just, like, because people expected it to be just exactly like Star Fox 64 again, people just shat all over it, and then YouTubers, like, that had a bunch of subscribers said things about it. So it didn't really get a lot of love because of all of this groupthink regarding it. But, you know, retroactively just looking at it and just playing it again as an adult, I still really love this game.
Great flying, Fox! For a moment I thought you weren't gonna make it.
Very funny, sir.
I know! Now, on to business! By pressing the start button, you will open your communicator. Choose who you wish to speak to, and then press the A button to contact one of us. Each team member will give you different information. It's not being tested in action, so give it a try as soon as I've finished. And don't forget, you're looking for the Queen Earthwalker. Try talking to those Thorntail guys. Slippy is preparing a translator device, but until it's ready, he'll translate for you.
Okay, General. But what about a weapon? Why couldn't I bring my blaster?
It's always the same with you, Fox. Shoot first, ask questions later. This mission is about saving the planet, not blowing it up. It requires a different tactic. Try using your head.
Yeah, very funny, sir. Fox out.
Yeah, like, and something that I really like about Star Fox Adventures is that it shows that Fox isn't just a master of one thing. Like, he's not just a talented pilot. Like, he has the capability to go on foot and generally, like, explore and do different tasks. Like, he's not just this uncaring merc who doesn't know what he's doing. Like, he's actually really, like, well-versed in combat, and who said Fox was shoot first asks? Yeah. Yeah, that's almost like Rare just kind of like saying, hey, like, this is a different kind of game, and you're gonna like it, and I do.
Oe mishkot ke ijo aj najoko. Mojekov niad ijo aj at smoke. Ut ad kikeno oe baksh mufofen. Kubo tabahodus kai ke itkong ak fenovik kusbe. Oe sut uksha ijo akeo feko ke nekt wit o. Ko kavkad hez be aides baj akomj ik ev kuj. Kubo suro mojekov. Ut ad nav kubo suro foa.
Yeah, so, like, Fox able to do all of that is not just him picking up the staff and going to town with it. Like, if I remember correctly, he went to the Cornerian Flight Academy, which I would assume is, like, a military school, as well as a flight academy, of course. So, naturally, he probably got some sort of, like, self-defense training. Because, I mean, as a pilot, you have to be prepared for any potential situation, and that includes getting shot down. Yeah, the foreign language is silly and cheesy, beside was a decent story. Yeah, I really love the story of Star Fox Adventures. Like, Dinosaur Planet had a pretty convoluted story, too, so when people make the comparison and say, like, oh, Dinosaur Planet would have been so much better, it's like, Dinosaur Planet's story initially, and from what we've gathered from the ROM and different, like, script leaks that have happened over the years, it was still a really damn confusing story. And it was similar enough to where, like, you know, take out main antagonist here, insert a different one, it's the same thing. But, like, looking at a lot of the locations and stuff that were originally in the ROM, like, some of it is one-to-one. Oop, there's some shadow glitches. Yeah, like a bow staff is a really common martial arts weapon to train with. Like, it's literally just a stick that's about 4 to 6 feet long. And a lot of dojos use it in multiple martial arts. The game's graphics were revolutionary when it came out. The gameplay was sleek and the environment was nice on the eyes. And yeah, this is a, I believe it's a 4K HD upscale mod, though I am streaming in 720 due to my internet limitations. But at the same time, it's like, the game still looks gorgeous even without the HD mod, because Dinosaur Planet was pushing the Nintendo 64's graphics limits beyond what it was even capable of. Because even when I played that leaked ROM, it runs very poorly, like maybe like 15 frames, but it looks incredible. It looks more like an early PS2 game in some instances. But then when this game came out, like, you have like actual fur on Fox that you can see, like individual strands. So like they were really pushing the hardware to its limits. And Rare has been actually pretty good about detail in their games. Like, believe it or not, Sea of Thieves has some of the best, like, water graphics I've seen in a long time. You have collected your first staff upgrade, the Fire Blaster. With power from the energy crystals, it can be used for many tasks. Move the C stick to activate the menu and highlight the upgrade, then press A to use it. I like how it just cuts itself off instead of just, like, finishing the sentence. And not just the graphics, but the music, too. Like, the ambience and everything is just really gorgeous. I just remember playing this for countless hours, just like backtracking, exploring different locations. Because like there's a later section in the game where you have to basically destroy your A button to do this like strength test thing. I don't want to say too much just in case for those who are in the chat who've never played this game before. But it's like, I had no idea that you had to literally probably almost destroy your controller just to get past that section of the game. So, like, my young mind was like, you know, well, what am I supposed to do here? Like, is there something I'm missing? Do I have to, like, go and do, like, a certain task in a certain area? So, like, my young mind would make up these different scenarios. It's like, oh, well, maybe if I go to this location, hit this thing a bunch of times, or I backtrack here, like, maybe this will unlock the area. But no, it's literally just, you had to pretty much, like, destroy your A button in order to progress. Water graphics are not easy to make. The game made them look astounding. The shine and reflections were nuanced correctly, and it looks so realistic. Yeah, like...
Is anybody there?
I mean, just look at Fox's individual strands of hair.
Okay? My name is Fox McCloud, and you must be the Queen Earthwalker.
No lorud no kadu. Ve uwe, Moshe, Prince Tricky Keog Root Suf Kehot Rokio Sharp Claws, Ut Kubot Ki Ice Mountain.
Did you get that, Slippy?
You've got to go to the Ice Mountain and rescue her son, the Prince Tricky.
Nice name. Okay, lady, I'll bring your son back to you. Can you give me some directions?
Owe Mish Weki Keo Warpstone, Kutso Kutsoj Wuk Feno, Ut Sujod Uwe Keo.
You've got to talk to that big stone guy. She called him a warp stone.
That's all I need to know. I'll be back soon, Queen. Don't you worry. Haven't you finished that translator yet?
It's nearly ready, Fox. I just need a bit more time. Slippy out.
Fun fact, the voice actor played Fox, also played Jonathan Dark in Perfect Dark. Yeah, that makes sense, because Rare definitely reused a lot of their in-house talent. Like, I mean, it's similar for, like, Bethesda and a lot of the voice actors, like, for Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. I don't know why I'm doing that. I have a full scarab bag. Oh yeah, I have to go destroy the bomb spore plants because I need to get one to destroy that barrier. Yeah, and just, like, see the subtle glow that's around Fox? Like, as you said, Blaze, this game is very underappreciated. Like, even if you don't like it for being a non-traditional Star Fox game, like, you can at least appreciate the visuals of the game for being as beautiful as they are, especially for a 2002 title. Yeah, like, that whole shtick with, like, Slippy startling Fox and you having the music cue. Quick question, how did you make your VTuber? I actually had some... Well, first off, thanks for joining the chat. I'm glad you popped into the stream. But, to answer your question, I had, somebody make my model for me. It's a Unity, Unity-based VR chat model. And I had another person take the model and then convert it into a VRM file and then convert all of my physics bones and so forth so I can move my ears. Though, unfortunately, it was a lot more money than I'd like to admit that I spent on it. Hopefully that answers your question. There are definitely a lot of better alternatives, but I really wanted something customly tailored to me, which is my character, of course, because this is my character.
Nobody ever brings me gifts anymore!
I forgot that he has, like, this stereotypical Scottish accent. Oh yeah, I have to go to the store, because I need to get that rock candy, if I remember correctly. Okay, that's cool, I want to get one too. Yeah, like, my recommendation is Etsy and Fiverr have good model makers that you can find there. You just have to be very wary of scams. In the credits section for my Twitch, you can actually find a link to the creator of this model.
Feel free to look at the many wonderful items within these walls. I have food, special goods, and many maps. And if you like to play games, then enter the Scarab Room. Yes. Oh, and that's the exit.
Okay. Thanks.
Now, if you find something that you like, then choose that item and we'll discuss a price. Is that clear?
Well...
Good. Now, hurry and choose something. Or get out.
Shopkeeper's voice kills me. Yeah, see, like, when I was younger, I always thought the shopkeeper was female, but apparently the shopkeeper is a dude. And shockingly enough, it's pretty much the exact same model from the N64. Because I played through Dinosaur Planet's ROM enough to get to the shopkeeper for Thorntail Hollow, or Swapstone Hollow, or whatever it's called. And really, this is the same exact model with maybe some textures up-resed. Like, it's pretty incredible what they were able to pull off back then. Okay, so this is the map room. Probably gonna see about getting a map for Thorntail Hollow at least. So the rock the rock candy's gonna be all my scarabs.
You pay this much.
No, that's too low.
Okay, I'll sell it to you.
Oh wow, they weren't a cheapskate for once. Should've went to 8. Yeah, it's been so long since I played this, I don't know exactly how much I can haggle, because, like, certain items, you can haggle more, but other items they just will not budge on. I remember playing Resident Evil 4 with my cousins way back, and it looks so lifelike, so real. Yeah, like, Resident Evil 4 is still a gorgeous-looking game. Like, I'm surprised that they actually went through the effort of making a full-on remake of it, because I feel like, you know, they did a proper remaster of it, like, actually, like, redid a bunch of the models and stuff, it would still look really good. Like, there's a fan project that did exactly that, but at the same time, like, Resident Evil 4 Remake looks really good still. Like, the choreography and the animations of that game are still, like, top-notch to this very day. Just played over the course of December. Yeah, like, I watched a little bit of you playing that, and I remember, like, clipping a little bit of your playthrough, but, did you actually enjoy Resident Evil 4 plays? Like, I know you're not really a horror game guy, but at the same time. There's even bagpipes!
Who dares bother the mighty Warpstone? 1,000 years I've been left alone to rest. What do you want?
Well, can you help us?
Help you? No.
But you're a Warpstone. You're supposed to help.
Right. Let's see if I can remember what I'm supposed to do. Okay. Now if you push left on the control stick, then I'll send you to one of those Warpstone thingies. We'll get back to that in a minute. And if you push forward on the control stick, then you can enter the maze. Now this one's a bit special. When you have collected a Krazoa spirit, then push right on the control stick. And I'll send you to Krazoa Palace. Now, you know what I do, so hurry up and make a choice. If not, then press B so I can get back to sleep.
Okay. The regenerator bits. Yeah, like, I remember, I believe I actually showed you the trick to actually kill the regenerators with just the knife. One of my favorite games is Infamous Second Son. The graphics hold pretty well for a start of the PS4 era game, plus the gameplay is great. Yeah, like, I always really appreciated the art style for Infamous.
Are you ready to walk?
Like, when a game has a really timeless art style, especially like Star Fox Adventures or really any Rare title, like, it doesn't matter how old the game gets, it's still, like, really enjoyable to look at and play. And I think that's why also, like, older Mario games are still really successful to this very day. Like Mario Sunshine and Galaxy and so forth. Because the art style doesn't require a lot of, like, high detail, and the game's still really, like, fluid and fun to play. I think the biggest tragedy about a lot of newer games that come out lately is that they focus too much on the visuals and not enough on the actual experience. Which I realize is less impressive than a PS2 era. I think that still holds up well, but still, like, a lot of these super realistic games end up looking outdated. Yeah, like, especially, like, Call of Duty. Like, Call of Duty focuses way too much on the visuals. While the games are, admittedly, really, like, top-notch in terms of their visual quality, it's just, you can only do so much with the same formula every year. Because, like, COD looks good, but it still plays the same as it did, like, 15 years ago. Plus, of course, they're also chasing the trend of Battle Royale, and if people enjoy it, then, you know, I'm not going to take that away from them, but it's just not my thing. Okay, do I still have a bomb spore flower? No. I'm trying to remember exactly... Oh, yeah, there's the fuel barrel over here, that's right. Well, there's a fuel cell. This means they have been scattered around everywhere. Well, thanks, Rob. But yeah, like, that's the beauty of HD mods like this, and just other, like, upscale texture packs and so forth, is that they can bring new life to a game that, you know, still looks good, but it could definitely look better on modern hardware. Because a lot of the time, it's just you can't really trust a lot of these companies, especially for older games like this that have a lot of, like, rights issues, to get re-released in some capacity and actually look good in a remaster scenario. Like, this upscale textures, like, it preserves the artistic intent, but still makes the game look a lot better. Just so long as you don't look too close. Oh man. I'm not fully against hyper-realistic games, but I would certainly prefer more went the stylized way. Yeah, like, for example, like, Source 2 and Valve, like, they, like, the games look realistic, or, like, Half-Life Alyx, for example, looks extremely realistic and immersive, but it's not, like, so realistic that it just takes you out of it.
Hey, Scaleface, pick on someone your own size. I am Fox McCloud, lead pilot.
We could do
of the Star
competing
Fox
streams.
team. I've come to take the prince back to his home. Hey, wait!
So this scene was actually in the Dinosaur Planet ROM. Though Fox referred to himself as Fox McCloud, Royal Knight of the Lylat System. But like I said, that ROM just, it has a plethora of performance issues, so it's really playing at like 15 FPS, but then you've got this that's playing at a mostly solid 60. So in a way, I'm glad that they moved over to the GameCube so they didn't have a lot of the limitations that the N64 had, because it was like 2000, 2001 around the time that they did that, so the N64 is really at the end of its lifespan anyway, and that was when Nintendo was going to the disc format with the GameCube as opposed to the traditional cartridge that they've been doing since like the NES era. Oh, went through the snow.
Ue sizbu aku kutsuk fudu, e uet rovekwat rodan. What? Ue sizbu aku kutsuk fudu, e uet rovekwat rodan.
I can't understand you.
Ue sizbu at uhat spring or you'd be frozen by now.
Why, you little...
Hey, I wouldn't if I were you. My dad's a king Earthwalker, and he'll bash you up.
I don't think he'll be doing any bashing. He's been captured. That's why I've been sent to rescue you.
He's been captured?
That's right. It was your mother that sent me to find you.
Is she okay?
She'll be just fine. But we need to get you home.
You don't have the assets for it. Sadly, not enough people care to mod the ROM to be great. Yeah, that's the sad thing. Well, there's actually a restoration project Discord that I'm a part of. And there are people that are reverse engineering the source code of Dinosaur Planet to actually get the game finished. Let me actually go back here. I don't know if I missed anything. Tricky. I'll just trust him to follow me. Hyper-realistic graphics probably take a lot to run anyway, so if more folks went for stylized, it would help with performance issues. Yeah, absolutely. Like, the fact that, like, updates for Modern Warfare and, like, Warzone are, like, I don't know, like 200 gigs and something like that, it's just ridiculous. Like, it's like they expect you to have one single COD game on your console and then nothing else. Because there's one thing that I've really kind of been irked about with the newer console generations is that rather than just putting in a disc and being able to play the game from the get-go, like in the PlayStation 3 and Xbox era, you have to literally install the game and then also have the disc to play it. I mean, you could get around that with digital, but you still have the issue with storage space. It's just like the simplicity of that era just no longer exists. Well, I mean, technically with the Switch, it's still that way, because the Switch went back to the cartridge system. Crysis power. You know, it's funny when people say that, when Crysis was, like, not even a really well-optimized game to begin with. Like, not only that, Crysis, like, I mean, it's a gorgeous-looking game, but I wouldn't say that it's the most realistic-looking game I've ever seen. Oh yeah, I don't have... Well, I do have a big command.
Stay.
And I think graphics and performance like that it makes a lot of newer games not as accessible to people that really want to play them. Like when I first started doing YouTube stuff and just kind of starting out on playing games on the internet, I was using an Intel HD integrated graphics computer processor, so I was playing on probably the lowest settings possible and at the shittiest resolution, but I still had a good time playing it. But it's the more fancy that graphics get, the harder it is for older systems or lower powered systems to actually run games. Dead Space Remake is probably one of the few newly released games that I've actually really enjoyed in terms of visual quality, performance, and just overall the game itself. Same thing with Jedi Fallen Order. Those are probably the two newest games that I played that I actually really enjoyed. And Dead Space Remake is a remake of an older title, so you were going to stream today, but didn't have any energy to actually You're laying in bed about to go back to sleep. The schedule we are on is garbage. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I go to work at 3 o'clock today, and I went to bed at around 10:30, but I only slept for about 2 hours, and then my mind, just kept me awake until I had to go to work at 4 a.m. Because, like, I got a bunch of, like, I got that creative drive to, like, make something. Didn't actually need that, but, I just got the creative drive and, like, I got an idea in my head, and then the idea just kept replaying over and over again. And it kept me awake up until I had to go to work this morning, and I'm trying to keep to my schedule as best I possibly can in terms of streaming every 3 days, and there's just no way I'd be able to actually stream for a significant amount of time getting home at 9 o'clock, so I decided to just come home, do some stuff I need to do, eat, and then get on to stream for, like, maybe 2 hours. Because I think doing, like, a 2-hour stream is better than not doing one at all. Fallen Order is my new graphically enhanced game, and Beacon Pines is the newest game I played. Yeah, Fallen Order. Can I actually just kill the Sharp Claw from here? Forgot about how, like, touchy Star Fox Adventures aim was. Well, I can hit them, but I might as well just go rescue Tricky.
Tricky, are you crazy? Just leave the sharp claws to me.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, Fox, if ever you need me to come back, you just use my heal command, and I'll be right with you, okay?
I can't stream till Friday, it would seem, unless I stretch myself then. And yeah, like, that's the thing, Blaze, like, only stream when you're feeling up to it. Like, for me, I'm just trying to at least get myself into a schedule so I don't just randomly stop for extended periods of time. Because I think, what my therapist told me is, like, it takes, like, 90 days or something to create a routine. Maybe 30 days. So if I can get a routine down, then I won't procrastinate like I usually do. And so far, it's been working for me, and it's just, like, I'm having a good time doing this.
Can you find any blue mushrooms? I'm feeling real tired.
Plus, this will also put me in a good mood for later when I go to my other job, so it's a win-win for me. I've been avoiding the Turf Legacy game, surprised how many folks are streaming it. I'm not actually familiar with that one. A lot of what I've been seeing is people playing Hi-Fi Rush. Which, Hi-Fi Rush looks like a really fun game. But it's just like, I spent a lot of money getting Dead Space Remake, so it's just like I'm kind of saving my money for something else that'll potentially come on down the line. I was initially going to get Callisto Protocol, but from what I understand, the game is very buggy on PC, so I'm going to wait till it goes on a sale that cuts the price down a little bit before I invest anything into it, because, I mean, it looks like it'll be a fun game to play, but it's definitely not something that is a priority at the moment.
Fine.
I basically clock in at 4:30 a.m. after a 9-hour shift. I'm like, I don't care if they get mad at me for leaving. What are they going to do? Take away my guarantee. Guarantee is 5 hours. The Hogwarts Legacy, but saying Turf Legacy because of Rowling is funnier. Oh, yeah. One of my coworkers was actually mentioning that this morning, like, saying that the game looked, like, really cool and interesting, but didn't like how J.K. Rowling was going to get a bunch of, like, royalties from it. Because, like, I won't, like, say a lot of my opinions regarding that on stream just for safety purposes on my part, but I do not like J.K. Rowling as a human being because of a lot of the things that she said against the LGBT plus community, and just her inconsistencies regarding that. But, I mean, it looks like it's a fun game, but, like, you know, it's like one of those things that again, it's hard for me to get into a game that just came out. Especially considering, like, how game prices are a lot more expensive now, because a lot of first-party titles are now $70 as opposed to $60, so it's just a lot more money I have to spend that I don't have. I could, I just would rather not, because I'd rather spend that on other things. Because, like, a lot of the stuff that comes out lately just gets me going back to playing titles like this, where I actually feel more at home and I'm having a good time.
I'm too hungry to talk to strangers.
Well, here, have this.
That's better. I tell you what, young'un, I'll help you out. Here you are, my boy. This is a scarab bag. By collecting scarabs, you'll be able to buy many useful items.
But where was he keeping that the whole time? I mean, he doesn't have any sort of chest or storage space back there. I mean, well, there is storage space back there, but we're not going to get into that. Anyway.
Fine.
See, I'm trying to remember. I think there's a switch that I have to press somewhere to get that cube down. Oh, no, yeah, I do have to use the Snowhorn. Because while I have played this game from start to finish multiple times throughout the years, I still probably have not played this game since maybe like 2012? Probably even earlier than that, maybe like 2011. Better get those fuel cells while I have this. Yes, you don't need to tell me how to move a giant block of ice, game. Well, I guess I could just pull it this way and cut out the middleman.
Where are we going?
So, another fact about this game compared to Dinosaur Planet is that Tricky was only supposed to be like one of two companions. So, Crystal had her own separate Cloud Runner companion, like that one that was in the cage at the very beginning of the game was supposed to be her companion. It was like the princess of the Cloud Runners or something. But since Crystal's segments were ultimately completely cut from the game entirely, it was really just used as a tutorial sequence. So Tricky ended up being the sole companion to Fox, and the rest is history. Because Fox/Saber, the original protagonist, actually had a broadsword that had much of the same effects as Crystal's staff, like some of the same abilities, but had a different moveset and was just... It honestly was pretty cool looking, but... The Crystal staff ended up being kind of an amalgamation of both weapons in the end. Amazing to me the ice wasn't more slick. Little Fox fallen, but... The music just stopped.
My golden root has been stolen.
Well, I guess it is nighttime, so it's just gonna have like ambient noise. Yeah, something that I'm still kind of, like, tweaking as I stream is, like, definitely audio. So, like, when I played Skies of Arcadia, I noticed that my audio, like, in some instances was fine, but then other times when I played, like, during loud battles, my voice was overpowered by the game audio, so I turned it down quite significantly, but again, I just never know until I watch the VOD later, and then I tweak my settings for the next stream. Because, like, each game is definitely going to be different. This is a Bomphadad. It is a magical creature whose powers can restore life. If you have collected a Bomphadad and die, it can be used to restore you back to good health. Until you buy the Bomphadad holder, you can only carry one at a time. This game is really forgiving in that regard. I don't ever feel like I had to use those. Like, there were occasions where, like, I would mess up and, like, fall into lava or something, but, like, as far as, like, enemies and bosses and such, like, I never felt like I actually had to use those. You pay me scarabs to pass.
You pay me scarabs to pass. You pay me scarabs to pass. You pass.
But don't tell boss. Shut up, Tricky. Yeah, like, I hate to ask midstream, but how does it sound, like, on your end? Like, is the game audio overpowering my voice at all? Is, like, it just right? Because, like, I'm more used to, like, recording via, like, NVIDIA Shadowplay, so audio tweaking is definitely something that I'm learning as I go along with Streamlabs. Because, like, it says that I've reduced the audio by, like, 9 decibels. But being used to that from an editing perspective, like, 10 decibels is usually really ideal for gameplay footage. Like, in terms, like, negative when I'm doing a voiceover, but that may not necessarily be true when I'm streaming. So this is a learning experience for everyone. And your voice is perfect for talking to me. Okay. I will take your word on that. Plus, honestly, I'm in a pretty decently comfortable position. Like, since I'm using a controller and not mouse and keyboard, like, I can actually kind of lean back a little bit. And I'm not slouched over with my hands on the mouse and keyboard. While it is possible to play this game with mouse and keyboard, it's definitely not recommended, just because it's really difficult. Like, even with the controller that I have, it's still difficult, because it doesn't really, like, the controller that I have doesn't pick up a lot of the same inputs as a legit GameCube controller.
That's my mom!
Just phased right through the ladder there, Tricky, and also, that height would have probably at least bruised a few of your legs. Do you mind? I think the only gripe that I have about the combat in terms of, like, fighting the Sharp Claws is that it doesn't matter, like, what combo you do, like, it still takes the same amount of hits to take out a Sharp Claw. So it's really more you're playing it for style and finesse than actually, like, doing massive damage to an enemy. There is no weak point for massive damage here. Yeah, plus I also want this to kind of be, like, relaxing enough to where, like, if you do want to go to sleep, I can just have the game, like, running and talking and...
Mission accomplished. Contact General Pepper so we can get paid.
She is gonna be okay, isn't she, Fox?
Are you sure you finished down there? The planet's not back together yet.
The Queen needs my help. Fox out. Is there anything we can do for her?
We need to find white grub tubs. My mom gives them to me when I'm not feeling well.
It looks like she'll need a lot. Let's take a look around, see what we can find.
We're about to go into one of the areas of the game that has probably one of my favorite tracks. The Ancient Well. Oh yeah, I gotta feed Tricky. I don't like your tone, Tricky. You make it sound like we hurt her. Yeah, Tricky is, like...
Fine.
You know, he's a child, so you kind of understand, like, where he's coming from. He hasn't warmed up to us yet, but at the same time, like, he is quite literally his namesake. He's a tricky little bastard.
Okay, Tricky. You stay here. I'll go search down there.
But I need to help my mom.
And you will be by staying out there.
Okay, Fox, but hurry up. My mom looked real bad.
So I also realized that I should probably save. Okay, we're good. OMG, you made the game look so good. Welcome to the stream, Chrono Monarch. It's, we're happy to have you here. Yeah, this, well, you just watched me fall off a ladder, but... Yeah, this HD mod, like, it up-resed all the textures, so... Like, it looks... almost like a brand new game. Plus, a lot of people don't really know that Star Fox Adventures has a built-in widescreen feature, so it kind of future-proofed the game a little bit. So this is a built-in feature in terms of the 16:9 aspect ratio. Where to get the HD mods? Well... Can't exactly say it live on stream. No. It's, like... It's on the Dolphin MU forum, so like if you just like type in like Star Fox HD, it should be the first link that pops up on the Dolphin emulator forum. And it's actually like a really simple install too. Like, though I would recommend having the newest version of Dolphin because you can just install the resource pack directly to it rather than actually going into the files and manually doing it yourself. Oh yeah, that's what I need to do. I need to get the staff upgrade before I do anything. Nintendo doesn't care about Star Fox. Yeah, that's a sad thing. See, there was actually going to be a puppet show, like a Jerry Anderson, style puppet show with the Star Fox characters that was originally going to be on Netflix, but somebody from Netflix leaked that project to the internet, and because of that, that project and then the Legend of Zelda TV show that was being made at the time also got canceled because Nintendo is notorious for being a bunch of control freaks when it comes to their franchises, and that's why as far as like the Mario movie is concerned, like they have their own animation studio because they are just that concerned with their IP because of it being abused in the past. Okay, I do not actually oh, yeah, that's right. Star Fox Adventures is my most favorite in the series besides 64. I wish they made more Adventures format games. Yeah, like, Adventures is a very underappreciated title in the series. Like, people people dislike it purely based on the fact that it wasn't a rail shooter like Star Fox 64, but I'm glad that it wasn't like that, just because we still have a little bit of the rail shooting elements in this game, but at the same time, it shows that Fox is not just your run-of-the-mill, like, mercenary pilot. Like, he has more of a skill set than just flying and driving a Landmaster. Like, he clearly has some sort of, like, martial arts training and survival skills that he might have learned at the Cornerian Flight Academy. And being someone whose, like, favorite franchise is Star Fox in general, is like, I played this when I was very young, like, to the point where, like, I didn't even know internet walkthroughs were a thing at the time, so it was probably, like, maybe, like, a couple months to maybe a year after it released, so maybe, like, because this game came out in 2002, so it would have been, like, 2002, 2003 when I played it for the first time. And I was stuck for the longest time in a lot of areas of this game, and even though, like, it wasn't the same as, like, Star Fox 64, which I had played just a few years prior to that, I mean, I still really loved this game growing up. Like, the soundtrack is just fantastic, the visuals are incredible, it's just that a lot of people don't look past those, few things about it, and they just like to believe the negative things that, like, big content creators say about it, and that's honestly a tragedy. Fox is the on-foot animal, deserves to be on foot just as much as being in space. Each planet has beauty to be explored. Absolutely! Yeah, like, each location, like, Cloud Runner Fortress, like, Dragon Rock, and Dark Ice Mines, like, each location, like, is a different theme. So it parallels the, experience of Star Fox 64 in a sort of way like that, because rather than it being like just another level that you bum rush through on a rail segment, it's an actual world that you can explore and backtrack. Oh, it's because I keep selecting the grub tubs. Yeah, Hive Mind. Yeah, it's a groupthink thing. It's like, you know, if somebody doesn't like the game, like, I mean, that's completely fine. There are valid reasons to not like it, but I just feel that people should really give it a chance before they believe what somebody else said about it, because there's really a very good game here. Saw a video that said the game is bad, like, maybe it's your opinion, but the game can stay the same forever, or else we get stuck with health. Yeah, and that's the thing, is that Star Fox as a franchise has really been dealt a bad hand by Nintendo, because, like, after Star Fox Adventures, they really just tried to shoehorn that specific console that it was on's feature for every new release. So, like, the Nintendo DS with Star Fox Command, which we don't talk about, and then there was Star Fox Zero, which was the Wii U's gamepad. I mean, there's still some game to be had there, and both games are enjoyable to an extent, but I didn't particularly care for Star Fox Command just because it had so many alternate endings that you couldn't really find any consistency. And I am still, like, again, I haven't played this game since, like, 2011, so, I know that I'm supposed to use the, oh, yeah, that's right. Like our argument of how the game is a victim of animation, none of them are canon. Yeah, like, even some of the developers of Star Fox 2, like, came out and said, like, we want to make a Star Fox game that isn't, a victim of that console generation's innovation. Star Fox Adventures is different because, like, that was before all of that happened, and it wasn't a victim of a specific console's innovation. It was a completely different experience. an experience that is incredible to play, and it's very pretty to look at.
50 years alone I've been, thinking of entering the Lord Sanctum without a lantern to light your way. You must be as mad as me. Go and see the shopkeeper. He should be able to help at the right price.
Oh yeah, I forgot I have to get the lantern. Yeah, because a lot of the moments in this game are just kind of like, there are certain gaps in my memory, so I remember like the ancient well, but I don't remember like, oh, I need this specific item to get to this specific area, or like, oh, I need to have done this thing first. I mean, I still listen to the soundtrack quite regularly. It's actually on my stream playlist for my BRB and Starting Soon songs. But at the same time, it's like, you know, like, having not played it for next to a decade, there are definitely some things that I don't remember. Are you implying that you're an insane Thorntail? 50 years I've been left alone. Going into the well without a lantern? You must be as mad as me. But no, this is your favorite character, the shopkeeper. I actually need to come in here and check the price of it first, because I don't know if I have enough to actually buy the lantern yet. And I also need to check Slippy's scope, too. Okay, that's 20 scarabs. And then, okay, so they're both 20 scarabs, so I need a singular scarab to progress. I don't know why I thought there'd be a scarab in there. I mean, that would literally be robbing the shopkeeper. Okay, good. Actually, I might just get the rest of the scarabs that are here, because if I can get to 40 scarabs, then I can buy Slippy's scope immediately. Okay, we're good, so I can actually buy both of them now. Like how they make it sound like a horror film. Yeah, like, the music fits the mood. Like, David Weiss did a fantastic job on the soundtrack. Now that I think about it, I probably could have haggled a little bit, but I don't know. Let me see how much I can haggle.
You pay this much.
I mean, it's not necessary, but I want to see how far down I can go.
No, that's too low. Okay, I'll sell it.
Okay, so 18.
I'll distract the old cave.
There was an opportunity to break out into song there, but I'm not going to do so.
You pay this much.
Yeah, you don't really get to haggle too much.
Okay,
Like,
I'll sell it to you.
I mean, the option's there, but like, you're really only saving like 1 or 2 scarabs in the long run. This is Fox's high-def display device. Slippy airdropped it to you, but the shopkeeper got it first, so that's why you've had to buy it. You just give him more than the asking price for fun. Yeah, because like there's that mini game that you can do in the basement where you can pretty much double the scarabs that you have, but to be honest, I've never really been good at that mini game. Yeah, I mean, just look at the, like, the rain and everything, like... And then just kind of get a closer look at the textures and stuff, like, it's just... Like, the sign especially, like... Like, it looks like they pretty much redid every single texture in this game with the AI upscaling. And if you save this clip, just reload, then rinse, repeat, you get all the scarabs that you'd want. Yeah. Like, anytime, like, the word scarab is mentioned, like, whether it be, like, from a show or, like, just in the context of conversation, like, my mind immediately thinks of the shopkeeper from Star Fox Adventures.
Ah, a lantern to light your way. Good. Yes, very good. Good, good, excellent.
Who needs ladders? I'm just gonna fall down. Well, yep. This is the white grub tub fungus. You need to collect 6 of these and feed them to the Queen Earthwalker. Now that I think about it, I might have actually had the strategy guide for this game when it first came out. But problem was, I didn't really have a grasp on reading comprehension until probably like the 3rd grade, so... Feeder. Yeah, speaking of that, it's like you don't really see like game guides anymore, like physically printed ones, because since like internet walkthroughs kind of made the strategy guide go the way of the dodo, like you just don't really see a lot of them anymore. Like I can get like a bunch of them like at the local game store, but there's really, like, in terms of like finding specific walkthroughs to do, there's really no incentive for me to use the strategy guide, because chances are somebody's made a more thorough one through independent investigation than like Prima or whatever company was making them at the time. Honestly, I'm glad the print is dead. Gotta save the trees. Yeah, plus they were expensive. Like, some of them were like 20, 30 bucks. And I also realized I need to go get another bomb flower seed, because I need to open that door. Well, I guess there's one right there, so I can just so long as, like, fate works with me and they land in front of the gate there. Alright, come on, baby, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're good. With mobile phones and internet, no one purchases them now. Yeah, see, like, when, it was actually Wind Waker, that was the first game that I actually looked up an internet walkthrough for, because, for those who haven't played The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, there's a puzzle near the ending of the game where you have to basically go around the Great Sea, finding different pieces of the Triforce in different locations. But the problem is that there's a specific puzzle where you have to get this map from a certain island in order to access a ghost ship, which only appears in certain locations. But the problem is that I had no idea this map even existed, so for the longest time I was just like running around the Great Sea not knowing what I was doing, because they didn't really explicitly spell it out, and they made that side quest like needlessly complicated. Okay, so let me see. I think we gotta find a way to get up there, so... Okay, I thought that was a bottomless pit for a second. I don't really need the lantern here, though, because I can clearly see everything that's here. I mean, in some locations, maybe, but, like, maybe that just might be, like, not accounting for the enhanced resolution. Because, like, this would have been, like, on a CRT TV at the time. Okay. I'm trying to remember. I'm just gonna jump into the bottomless pit. Okay, so it didn't kill me, but... It's probably gonna take me a minute to actually remember. I'm guessing there might be one of those, like, those staff rocket jump things. I'm still concerned that those mushrooms move on their own, suggesting sentience. Expose the long rock. Okay. Or, yeah, explode it. And this is exposing my sense of direction and my memory that is about as good as a goldfish. Okay, so yeah, I've got to go to the bottom here. Yep. I was just talking about how I didn't need a lantern. And then I would not have seen that had I used the lantern. And welcome to the stream, River. I believe it's River Fox. Always good to see new people join the stream. If you stick around, that I'd really appreciate that. Probably going to be playing for another, like, 45 minutes, roughly. Going to be a relatively short stream today. I work 2 jobs, so I just got off my other job just a little bit ago, and then I have my evening job that I have to go to after this. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to stream as long as I really would like to, but, you know, money's good, and I can't control my work schedule any more than anyone else can. So, let me see, how many of those do I have? 6. I think that's all of them. 'Cause, like Tricky said, there was 6 of them, I think. And I work as yeah. Yeah, I don't want to say, like, specifics on stream just for, like, privacy concerns. Like, if I could stream, like, every day, like, that would be really cool. Like, I'd love to do that. I mean, well, maybe not every day, but maybe, like, every other day, that would be really cool. Because, like, I wouldn't want to get burnt out on it. Because that's what YouTube content creation did to me, is that I really got burnt out on doing it, because I would spend, like, hours and hours working on something, and then it would just get completely ignored in favor of videos that I released, like, 10 years ago. And that's the crazy thing, is, like, the stuff that I did, like, nearly 10 years ago, while it got a lot of views on YouTube, whenever I made something, like, that had better editing, like, was more professionally made, and, just generally looked a lot better, like, people still favor, like, the content that I made when I was, like, 17, 18, 19 years old, that had peaking audio and a plethora of other issues. But, I mean, that's also probably just because of YouTube's algorithm, like, still, like, recommending those old videos. But that's kind of why I'm glad that I moved to Twitch, just because I got tired of that. Like, I'd much rather start from scratch on Twitch than be burdened by those old
Thank you for
videos.
saving my son and for saving me.
Okay, enough of the thanks. No, I need some help from you. Can you just tell me what's going on?
This is all the work of General Scales. He is the ruler of the Sharpclaw tribe, a nasty bunch of pirates who have always wanted to rule Dinosaur Planet. We have always been able to stop his attacks, but this time he somehow become stronger and defeated our army at the Krazoa Palace.
Right, a bad guy. But how did the planet get in such a mess?
Within the Krazoa Palace, he broke the seals of the Force Point temples.
I'm listening.
This planet is rich with a magical force, a force so strong that it is continually pushing our world apart. To stop this, 4 spellstones were placed inside the Force Point temples.
Okay, that's a bit weird, but I understand.
With the seals broken, Scales entered the temples and removed the spellstones. With nothing to hold back the magic force, the planet was torn apart.
At last, it all makes sense. So, the bad guy takes the spellstones, your planet falls apart, and I've got to find the spellstones and bring them back to the Force Point temples.
See, Mom? I told you he was good. Star Fox, yeah.
My son will remain with you, for only a dinosaur of noble birth can breathe life into the spellstones.
What? That's okay, but don't you think he's a bit young? I mean, it's gonna be very dangerous. Loads of bad guys, fighting, death.
He knows the planet well, and I'm sure he's shown you his sidekick skills.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those.
Come on, Fox. We'll make a great team.
Okay, but if you mess up just once, I'll send you straight back to Mommy.
Okay, yeah.
Good. Now, our spies have indicated that Scales was last seen in Dark Ice Mines. I know the gatekeeper, Garunda Tay, a silly fellow, but he can guide you to the Spellstone. Go back to the Snowhorn Wastes and find him.
Got it.
And Fox, I think you'll need this. The Sharpclaws dropped it when they attacked me. Maybe it'll come in use somewhere.
Okay, enough already. Can I just get on with it?
See, that's what I was thinking, Fox. And then Tricky proceeds to mess up. Yeah, but we didn't actually send him back to Mommy. Yeah, and I think what's really cool about this game is that, like, it's long, but not too long. Like, you can spend a decent amount of time playing this, but you're not going to be spending the same amount of time, like, say, if you played, like, a Final Fantasy title. Which, the other game that I'm playing right now is another GameCube title, Skies of Arcadia. And I was initially going to play that today, but I'm at a pivotal plot point in that story that I just really didn't want to invest, like, 2 hours into it and then put it down. Where Star Fox Adventures is one I can just pick up, play, and I could stop at really any time. And that was kind of my intention from the beginning, was to kind of do like 2 games at a time. Like, one day do Star Fox Adventures if I'm feeling up to it, the other Skies of Arcadia. Because I just recently finished Dead Space Remake, so this is kind of like the first full game outside of that I've started along with Skies of Arcadia. I'm actually going to get some Scarabs real quick and get some more shopkeeper items before I move back to Snowhorn Wastes. Because once I get to Snowhorn Waste, that might be a good stopping point for me, just because, like, I do intend to get at least a little bit of sleep before I go to my next job, which I'd like to just, like, stay home, but you know.
Fine.
Oh yeah, I don't have the bag, so I can't pick that up. He messes up twice when he goes off in his own, the Dark Ice Mine, the refusal to go to the Cloud Runner Temple. Yeah, because, like, we could have really used his help. Because I think, like, Tricky, a big thing with him is that he really, like, he could have learned to face his fears a little better. But let me see, like, what I can get here. That's the Crystal Palace map. Ocean Force Point, not gonna need that right now. I know there's a dedicated map, yeah, right here. Because, like, at the very least, I can get the Thorntail Hollow map, because I'm not going to need, like, the Ocean Force Point Temple map for at least a couple more streams.
You pay this much. Okay, I'll sell it to you.
Go above the shop, there's an energy bar extender cave there. Oh yeah, that's right, there is. Moon Mountain Pass map, Lightfoot Village. Well, I guess I could also use the Dark Eyes Mines map, because I'm going to be going there soon enough. And I'm specifically overpaying because, you mentioned earlier in chat that you overpay just for giggles and shit, so I decided that I was going to do that too. And because there's really, like, I mean, the maps are like 5 to 10 scarabs a piece, and a lot of them I don't need yet.
You pay this much.
I'll just go back to
I'll
5.
sell it to you.
What was that, Fox? Like, you were about to smack it into oblivion, and then you just decided to pick it up and throw it? Like, what was the point in that? Like, for the Volcano Force Point 7 map, I gave the most scarabs for basically all the scarabs I'm carrying for that map. Yeah, because, like, I could get, like, a good bit of the maps right now, but there just really isn't too much of an incentive for me to do that right now. Dang it, interrupting my staff ability. Ooh, there's a nice little frame dip there. Oof. We're getting into, like, super crust here, and I don't have a bomb spore plant. I keep forgetting that I need to have a surplus of those, because I never know when I'm going to need them. But luckily, there's one right there, so it's not too big a deal, but it's like, yeah, I'm definitely forgetful today. Okay. Now let's get that juicy frame dip again. I mean, this is still acceptable even with all, like, the glitchy music. Like, this isn't PowerPoint presentation level. And then the game crashes. Oh, I would be very upset if the game just crashed. Which, to prevent that from happening, I will save here just in case. Super sensitive trigger. Come on. Oh, come on, Fox. You couldn't, like, move just a little bit further to hit that? Oh, there we go. Download less sensitivity, like what? Like downloading more RAM? It's like, here, just go to this website and search your credit card details, and then we'll get you some more RAM. Yeah, when I initially, like, got the hardware upgraded for my computer, I was gonna probably go overkill and get, like, 128 gigs, because that's what my motherboard can handle. But it's just, like, with the stuff that I'm playing and the stuff that I do in terms of, like, my editing and, like, work-related stuff, like, I am probably never going to be using any more than 16 gigs, so it's like, 32 is just fine for me, because anything over that is just overkill, and it's gonna be, like, diminishing returns. It's the same thing when you're buying, like, camera equipment. It's like, at some point, like, when you get to a certain spending range, you're not really getting much out of it by spending that much more. It's kind of why I didn't get the new Switch model, because it's like, I don't really ever play it docked anyway, or I don't play it handheld anyway, so it's like there's really no incentive for me to get the OLED screen. And the battery is a non-issue because I have it docked all the time, so I'm just playing it on my TV. And back up we go. Nintendo Direct in 1 hour. Wait, there's a Nintendo Direct today? Oh yeah, I saw that, but it said like 4 o'clock or something, but... They're probably gonna show stuff for like Zelda, which I'm excited for, don't get me wrong, but like wouldn't it be like absolutely incredible, like, and definitely quote me on this if it does happen, they just announce a Star Fox game. Very seriously doubt that will happen anytime soon, but I think priority-wise, like, they're gonna talk about, like, Zelda and, probably, like, maybe some Metroid Prime 4 updates saying, like, oh, well, like, you know, this thing happened with Metroid Prime 4, and we still can't show you any gameplay. The game is totally still coming, guys, don't worry.
Stay.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I still do have to reverse the water flow. Yeah, and that's another game series I've never really gotten into. And it's just, like, for personal reasons. Metroid Prime. Like, I've played Super Metroid via the Switch's emulator, but I never really got into the Metroid Prime series. Just because, like, I rented the original game at a really bad time in my life. So, like, I only got to play it very briefly. I watched my uncle and my brother play it, but, like, I never got into those games specifically because I had seen the original game and had it rented at a very, very bad time in my life. But, like, if I got the opportunity to play, like, Metroid Prime Trilogy, I totally would. I just refuse to touch the GameCube version of Metroid Prime. And these fucking, like, Fire Keys rip-off things are making me angry. You know what? They're not even worth the effort. I'm just gonna go. They probably screwed up, like, Zero and the others that sucked. Yeah, like... They're gonna be like, oh, well, you can disconnect this Joy-Con and then you can, like, have a Landmaster while the other player's in the R-Wing. It's like, Nintendo, please, for the love of God, just make a Star Fox game. Like, even if you make a Star Fox Adventures game, like, type game, like, I would still be really happy with that. Because I love Star Fox Adventures, but, like, if you're gonna make a Star Fox title, like, don't make it, like, something to do with the hardware side. Like, I don't want, like, some, like, stupid Joy-Con integration or a touch control thing. I just want to play a game. Why is it so much to ask? And I get easily distracted, so I completely forgot where I was going, but now I remember that I have to use this key. Gyro control only to add immersion to the experience. No. No.
The Sharpclaw have imprisoned me in this infernal cave. If you can bring me Frostweeds, I'll be strong enough to get myself out.
I'll probably get through this section, and then that'll be the end of the stream.
Hurry, boy!
Hurry, boy! Switch green to use commands such as Smart Bomb and... Well, isn't that basically what they did with Star Fox Zero? Was like, you use the gamepad primarily? Like, I know there are people who have modded, I'm actually gonna go back here and get some health, but... Like, I know there are people who have modded Star Fox Zero to where you don't need to use the gamepad, but at the same time it still plays pretty poorly just because of the fact that the game, like, internally still relies on using the gamepad. I'm just gonna do this. Yep. Come on, buddy. Get it. Okay, good. Oh, they're actually, like, smacking the tree. But if I remember correctly, they infinitely spawn, so I have to just kind of get them out of the way and then go get these weeds. Nope, don't smack it, Okay, just one more. Okay. One more.
The young prince. Who is this with you?
I also like talking in slow motion.
My friend Fox McCloud. My mother sent us to find you.
Well,
there we go, I caught up.
Spellstone Gatekeeper.
Oh, no, there it goes again.
We're looking for a spellstone.
A spellstone? It is my duty as a gatekeeper to guard the land from which a spellstone is forged. General Scales took the spellstone and discovered that I was a gatekeeper. He gave me an ultimatum. Allow him to take the spellstone back into the sacred land, or he would destroy my tribe. I could not risk the safety of the entire planet, so I refused to help. My daughter did not think this way, and so to save the tribe, she opened the gateway herself. Scales did not destroy my tribe. He enslaved them instead. My daughter dishonored me. You must search for the spellstone within Dark Ice Mines and return it to the Volcano Force Point Temple. Only then will the spellstone's power be returned. I will open the gate.
Hey Fox, check out Peppy's Dinosaur Planet map to see where to head next. I mean, it's pretty obvious where I need to go.
Peppy, over and out.
If I remember right, there's something down here. Okay, they're fuel cells, but I can't get them yet. Let's see. Oh, I just used Slippy's thing. I'm gonna get some health real quick, just so I have that for next time. Technically, I could do a save state, but I'm just gonna do a regular save because I want to do this as legit as possible. But yeah, I'm actually going to go ahead and end the stream there. I wanted to kind of do a shorter one today because I did want to get some sleep before I have to go to work. Next time is going to be the same thing. It's going to be that I usually do, which is going to be a 4-hour stream. It's just today was a bit, no pun intended, tricky because of my conflicting work schedules, one in the early morning, one in the evening. So I really had just a small gap of time in between those two jobs that I could actually properly stream today. Thanks for the stream, man. Have a good one. Get plenty of rest. And really, thanks for all the new people who came out to the stream, like Chrono Monarch. It was really good for you to be in the chat today. If you're feeling generous, leave a follow. And I stream every 3 days. And after this, I'm going to be doing Skies of Arcadia. And then 3 days from that, I'm going to do more Star Fox Adventures. So stay tuned because there's going to be a lot more. But hopefully you enjoyed it, and as for you, Blaze, and everyone else who is just waking up today, enjoy the Nintendo Direct and enjoy your sleep. Have a good day, everybody.